Hey guys, I'm Renee with Renee's Creative Casa. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Come on, Stella. And we have Stella here. I'm so glad you guys are here with me. Today I will be putting together 3 really cute little Easter decor items. I'm so excited to show you guys these. They are just 3 simple, cute items that you can put together quickly to transform your home into Easter. I know it is getting into that season of the year in most parts of the states where it's starting to be prettier outside and the weather's getting nicer, and we want to start bringing in some of those beautiful pops of spring and Easter. So I'm so excited to share these with you guys. Without further ado, let's get to crafting. Okay guys, so I think this is one of my favorite DIYs ever. I'm going to be using these round plates. They're just plastic plates. They're in the party section at Dollar Tree. And I'm going to be using 2 of these candle holders, and I'm just going to chalk paint both, all of those white. I'm going to be doing 2 of the candle holders white and 2 of the plates white, and then I'm going to be using 2 of the little vases from Dollar Tree, as well as these little ceramic painting sets. I think this is more for like a little DIY for your kiddos or whatever. So I'm going to be using E6000 and hot glue to go ahead and help me set this candle holder into place. The hot glue will last right now while I work on the project, and then as that E6000 dries, it will hold it long term. So I'm just going to center that on the bottom of my little paper plate, my little plastic plate. And then once I flip it back over, it's going to look like a little small pie pan almost. Then I'm going to be using 2 of these white beads that I got from Amazon. I will link them down below in the description box. I had already previously painted these, so I didn't show that on camera. And then I'm just going to be using some wood putty because I am going to glue these to the top of my glasses, and I want them to, that little hole that's in them to be filled up. So you can see here that I've completely filled that hole on both of those with putty. And then I just use some E6000 and hot glue to secure them to the top of my vases. And once that putty dries a little bit more, I will go back and paint that white so you won't be able to see that hole in them at all. Right now I am just cutting off the little metal hook part that is on the little ceramic crafts. There's one is the egg and one is the little Easter bunny, but they have a little ornament hanger and like a little piece of metal at the top. So I'm just going to cut that off and then trim it down as close as I can to the little Easter bunny and to the little egg. And then once I get that trimmed off, I'm going to go ahead and paint that metal white because it is like a silver color. And then once I get that done, I'm going to set that to the side and let that dry while I begin to get out my little reindeer moss, my little Spanish moss that I got. This also came from the Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to be putting a little bit on the top of each one of my little cake holder things. And then once I get that on there and get it kind of spread out a little bit, I am going to set these little ceramic DIYs down into the top / middle of the grass where I have that at. And then once I get the little ornaments set down in there, I am just going to put the domes over the top, and this little project will be complete. Okay, so this is what they look like once I got them finished. Sorry about the lighting on this video, guys. When I went back to do my final walkthrough of all my projects, I had my settings on my camera wrong, so this is what I have. And I do believe that I lied, and this is not, the last project that I did was not my favorite. This one is. This one turned out so adorable. I'm using some scrapbook paper, and I'm going to be using some tissue paper, as well as some yarn, these little carrots, some paint. I'm going to be using this little bucket, and then I'm going to be using this little greenery bouquet. And I'm just going to start by putting some toothpicks into these little carrots so that they'll have something to actually attach with versus just using a ton of hot glue on them. And then in the bottom of my bucket, I'm going to put some tissue paper, and then I just put a piece of floral foam inside another piece of tissue paper and set that on the top. And then I'm going in with this little grass from the Dollar Tree and situating it so you can't see any of the tissue paper under there. So the tissue paper is just to give it like the height that I'm looking for. And now I'm cutting apart the little greenery bouquet, and I'm just going to set it in the bucket individually. I'm just going to kind of go in there. I want this to kind of look like a little, maybe like a little raggedy garden type thing. So I'm not trying to go in with that perfectly. Once I get the greenery in, I am going to go in with my carrots, and I did decide to use 5 carrots for this. So I did kind of center them, 2 on either side and then 1 like in the middle, so that they would cover up a lot of the greenery in the back, but the greenery of course still shows over it. And once I got all the greenery in there, I began to work on my little bunny. I did actually end up using 2 bundles of the greenery, but one bundle I used completely, and another one I just used 1 flower off of it because I had put another flower from the first bundle in there, and I just felt like I needed 1 on either side to kind of offset that. So this is one of the little decorative cotton tails, the little bunny tails that they sell at Dollar Tree. It is part of a little Easter bunny costume, and I'm just going to set it, like hot glue it, and then set it down, attach it to the edge of the pail as well as to the grass a little bit. And then of course once I set it down, I realized that I was kind of crooked going in with my little garden, so I wasn't exactly lined up with the handle, so I did have to turn that, but it was easy to do because it hadn't set yet, the glue hadn't set yet. Now I'm going to take some of this white yarn, and I'm just going to wrap it around 2 of my fingers, and I'm going to wrap that 20 times, and then I'm just going to cut a smaller piece of yarn off and take this off of my fingers, and then I'm going to tie off where I have wrapped that at, and I'm going to tie it on the back side and then kind of flip it around to the front side and tie it again. Once I have that tied on either side, I'm just going to cut the loops to go ahead and start making this little loop, this little yarn loop into a little puff ball, and then I'm just going to trim all the yarn around it and make it really fluffy. Try to make it all about the same length. It doesn't of course have to be all perfect, but once you get all of that trimmed down and you get it all puffed up, it turns really cute. So then you can just hot glue that onto the little rabbit's behind right there. So now you can begin to see that it is a little rabbit with his head poked down into the garden. I'm going to use some of the scratch paper, the scrap paper from Dollar Tree. They're selling it in a pack where you can get a bunch of different little colors, and I love that because you don't have to buy an entire book or huge sheets, so it is just small pieces of the scrapbook paper. So I'm just using that, and I'm just trying to cut like a long oval because this is going to be my little rabbit's foot. Once I get one that I like, you guys can see that I have done quite a few there, and I didn't like any of them. So once I get one that I do like, I am going to trace it and cut out one identical to it. And then since I'm using a pencil, I didn't worry about erasing it. I just made sure that when I glued that onto his behind, that I put the pencil side towards him so that you can't really see it. And I put one on either side of his tail. And then once I got those hot glued, I let those set for just a few minutes, and then I went in with my pink chiffon paint and I painted a little pad with 3 little toes on each one, and this is how my little garden turned out. I think it is so adorable. I am in love with it. It is so cute how the little Easter bunny has his little head stuck down in there digging for carrots. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you think of this project. Okay, so for our next Dollar Tree project, I'm going to be using 2 bags of the glitter vase filler, as well as a styrofoam cone and some of this white wrapping paper. You guys have seen me do this project before. I made a little Christmas one as well as a Valentine's one, and I normally have a hard time with my stuff sticking to the styrofoam because the styrofoam tends to melt with the hot glue, so I decided that I would wrap it in this white wrapping paper first. So I am just going to open the little cone, and then I'm just going to put a line of hot glue on there, and I'm not doing a perfect wrapping on this. I'm just going to roll it over and then hot glue it again, and then I'll trim off the top and the bottom, and then I'll be ready to start on adhering my vase filler to this. Now we are going to start with the vase filler. I am going to be using almost 2 bags of this vase filler, and I'm just going to start by putting a line of hot glue and putting the little balls on there, and then I'm just going to kind of always making sure that I'm not trying to put too many of the same colors together, or making sure I'm not doing too many of the same size together. I just kind of want it to look very you know, just very put together. I don't want it to look synchronized, or I don't want it to look like everything's in a certain order or anything like that. I just wanted to make it look very spring, and I wanted to make it look very whimsical. Okay, and once I get to the top of this, I am just going to be using one of these little glitter ornament eggs. This was one of the ornaments, some of the ornaments that I used in my little Easter tree that I decorated. I will link that video above for you guys so you can kind of see the ornaments that I'm talking about. But this is one of the peachy coral colored ones, and it is covered in glitter. So I did just attach it to the top, and then I went in around that and put in some of the smaller little styrofoam balls to make sure that everything was covered in really well. And then once I got all of those covered in, I just went back and made sure that I didn't have any strings of hot glue hanging there. And then that was it for this project. So this is how my little tree turned out. This is the little tree that I normally put in my kids' restroom. They have like a little 3-tray basket, and this one always goes in the center with decorations on either side. So you guys let me know what you think about this tree in the comments down below. Hey y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed this video as well as watching me put together these crafts. Like I said, I'm so excited to be able to share my love of crafting with you guys. Most of the supplies that I used today did come from the Dollar Tree, so this is crafting on a budget. So you can take these budget items and turn them into boutique gorgeous pieces for your home for this season. I hope you guys will go out there and try to recreate these, use these as inspiration. Some of the items Some of the projects that I make are also inspirations that I find from other YouTubers. So you guys do not be afraid to go out and try this. If I can do it, you can do it. I will have this video linked in my Spring Has Sprung playlist, and all of those will be linked in the description box down below. I have all of my videos categorized so they're very easy to find what you are looking for. If there is a specific topic that you are looking for, just check out one of those playlists down below and you should be able to find it. If you are new here, I hope that you will consider liking this video, as well as subscribing and turning on your post notifications so you never miss a video from me. I normally upload a new video on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. I almost forgot what days I upload on. Anyways, so thank you for being here today. I'm so happy you guys all came. Thanks again for watching.